Welcome back YouTube to another informative video. It's been a while, but I've been really busy, so I haven't had a chance to make these videos, but now I'm gonna get straight back into it and try and do one every week, at least one every second week. And the recipes, don't worry, they're coming soon. I'm just thinking recipes good enough to actually make videos on and not just post on my Instagram. So technically a carb is a carb because all carbs are broken down into glucose and used for fuel by your body, but they do have their differences, so stay tuned to find out exactly which carbs I think are the king of carbs and why. The most common way that people actually define carbohydrates is by GI, glycemic index. What the glycemic index is basically how fast the carbohydrate will elevate blood sugar levels. And so a number like 95 means it will do it really fast, a number 100 obviously extremely fast. The lower the number on that scale, the better. But that's based on having the carbohydrate on its own, simply by itself. So if you have a potato, or you have rice by itself, that the number represents that, not as having it as a meal. If you have it with protein and you have it with fats as well, those both significantly slow down the release of the carbohydrate anyway. So GI is not something you have to be too concerned with. So everyone's favorite carbohydrate these days is quinoa. Quinoa's definitely up there, but my favorite, and I think the best carbohydrate, buckwheat. Buckwheat comes in many different forms. You can get the actual buckwheat grain thing. Buckwheat's not a grain, first of all, it's a seed, but you know, the buckwheat actual piece. Or you can get stuff like buckwheat pasta. This is 100% buckwheat pasta. You can get buckwheat spaghetti, buckwheat noodles, but buckwheat pasta has to be my favorite. It cooks really fast, so 8 to 10 minutes. It tastes really good. It's extremely high in protein, about 15% protein. It's got low amount of fat and a good amount of carbohydrates as well. I'd say about 60 to 70% carbohydrates as well. And it's high in potassium, it's high in magnesium, it's high in zinc, and it's a little bit high in iron as well. So it's a really good carbohydrate to have. And if you're looking on the glycemic index, if you're gonna have them alone, this is pretty down low on the glycemic index. So 200 grams, that's 200 grams raw, will give you about 30 grams of protein. I mean, you can make a complete meal out of just having a buckwheat pasta. So it's excellent news if you're vegan, and also great news if you're a carnivore? Yeah, carnivore like me as well. So it works both ways. Great tasting carbohydrate, easy to make something really good out there. So you can add a bit of chicken and you can add some tomato sauce on top, or if you wanted to have like a meat-free meal, just add some tomato sauce on top. Or another option as well, you can add some seafood or anything like that. And like I said, because it comes in many different forms, you can do something different with all the different forms. You can make like a buckwheat porridge from the actual, I think it's called a grit, or the actual buckwheat itself. But this is obviously made from buckwheat flour anyway. So that's buckwheat. So next up, quinoa. So quinoa is high in lycium, potassium, magnesium, and obviously high in protein. So it's about 14 to 15% protein as well. Again, like I said earlier, it's a seed, so it's a great choice. And it's very versatile. You can make like quinoa salads, you can make quinoa into a bake, you can make quinoa porridge. So the way I suggest making quinoa porridge is if you actually cook the quinoa first, and then what you do is you can add the, say, coconut milk or whatever you want to it, and put it with whatever flavorings you want, so cinnamon, say, even a bit of honey and some fruit, and then it turns out really good. It's got quite a neutral taste in the porridge, and always soak quinoa. The reason is it's got this bitter outer shell thing, and when you soak it for, I'd say, about 6 hours at least, it actually removes that bitter taste. So when you soak it, you rinse it, and you cook it, doesn't taste bitter, so don't worry about that. I know a lot of people have a problem with that as well. Some people feel like it gets stuck in their throat, but do that and you remove that slight outer shell and it tastes darn good. Remember, quinoa is definitely my second best. So next up, I don't actually have this with me, is millet. Millet is another seed. It's about 11 to 12% protein, and it's massively high in nutrients. Millet you can make into like a porridge as well. Millet, you're probably thinking bird food, yeah. Birds do eat millet, but that's because it's a nutritional powerhouse, and Obviously, everything I've listed so far is completely gluten-free. So the seed being cooked in a similar way to something like rice or couscous, and you can have it instead of couscous. Actually, is a great replacement. So not just porridge, you can have it sweet, you can have it savory. It's got a mild nutty taste to it, but nothing overpowering as well. So you can kind of kid it out how you want to as well. Use it instead of rice if you're not a fan of rice, but millet's also a really, really good one. So next one, I don't have my organic rice with me, but this is a rice I do use sometimes as well. It's a lot cheaper than buying organic rice. And white rice and brown rice, very, very small differences. So brown rice is a bit higher in fiber, a bit higher in B vitamins as well. But white rice has calcium and has loads of other vitamins as well. Both about 6 to 7% protein, but with white rice, make sure, even brown rice actually I do it with as well, make sure you soak it for around 12 hours before you eat it. What that does is it contains small amounts of arsenic and also has other pollutants on it. This removes it from the actual rice, and then be sure to wash it after. You get that whitey stuff that comes off as well. And believe it or not, when you do soak it and you wash it and cook it again in some new water, it does taste a lot nicer as well, and it goes more fluffy. So I do not like brown rice personally. I'll eat it, but I'm not a fan. I find it very, very filling. For me, that's not a good sign, especially when you're bulking as well. I go for white rice. White rice is so much more versatile in my book. You can have it with anything, it's easy to eat. It tastes darn good. And those of you who think brown rice tastes better than white rice, I don't agree. I just don't. But like I said, white rice, it's my option, definitely. And also don't be fooled by, like I said, the high GI, low GI. Just have it as a meal. You can get white rice pasta, you can get white rice noodles as well. Rice noodles are actually a really, really good option as well. So they taste really good. You can have them cold or hot. So they're great for meal prep. And yeah, like I said, they taste really good. And you can make something that almost tastes unhealthy, really healthy as well. So white rice. So last but not least, potatoes. So I got a normal potato, which is extremely small, and a sweet potato, which I've never seen a sweet potato this small. If you have, let me know, because I wouldn't mind having them, because that'll be so easy to roast the whole potato. So you can roast these, you can boil these, you can mash them as well. There's differences between the two, obviously in taste. I much prefer the taste of sweet potato, but white potatoes contain more resistant starch, which is a prebiotic fiber, and with the sweet potatoes contain more vitamin A and a few additional vitamins like zinc, etc. But both have around 2 to 3% protein. That's 2 to 3 grams per 100 grams. So let me give you an example of what 100 grams looks like. This is probably around 200 grams. So this contains about 4 grams of protein. So it's quite easy, it might even be more, to be honest, I haven't weighed it. But it's quite easy to get an additional amount of protein from potatoes as well. So they're also a good option for vegans. So if you have a kilo, not many people have a kilo, but I sometimes do have a kilo, that gives me like 20 grams of protein as well. So that's pretty good. And it tastes good, it's healthy. And like I said, all the options I've given you are gluten-free. Gluten will eventually, if it doesn't already, give you some stomach problems, give you bone issues, give you health issues. So do stay clear from gluten. I do not recommend it. I've been gluten-free as much as possible, apart from when I have pizza on cheat days and stuff. And when I do have cheat days, it doesn't affect me nearly as much as well. So it doesn't bloat me, doesn't make me feel tired, doesn't give me bad skin or anything. So potatoes, I've given you some good options now. Potatoes, the rice, either white or brown, I'm happy with. You've got buckwheat, you've got quinoa, and you've got millet. I'll drop links to all of them in the description below if you've never seen something like millet or buckwheat, in the shops. But I'll drop it below. There's various different types of things you can get with them as well. You can get pastas, you can get spaghettis and stuff like that as well. So it's really good and really versatile. Cook a lot of different things with them. But that's it from this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe for future videos. Like I said, I'm gonna try and keep the information videos up because I know it's kind of what makes my channel a bit different. I do offer a different perspective on nutrition and health as well. So I'm gonna keep up with those as much as I can, as much as I can fit it in between work as well. And the vlogs will keep going, they'll keep going. Hopefully I'll hit 100 kilos eventually. One day. But until the next video, keep pushing those limits.